Stacked rocks, more commonly known as cairns, placed along the trail signified that you are on the right track. It is a marker guiding you to the correct path or trail in cases where navigation becomes difficult and the trail may be easily lost. Each breast cancer path is unique. Our intention is to place cairns along the trail, encouraging and empowering you on your journey to wellness. Join us as we unpack the four core principles that empower you to make positive changes that can affect both your cancer diagnosis and also your life. Focus and fortitude, faith and forgiveness, food and fuel, and family and friends.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super duper excited. I'm Lori Lober, and I am very happy to introduce my partner in crime. Well, we're not committing any crimes, actually. We are doing this for educational purposes. We hope that we can provide you with a few things that will help you in your stage 4 metastatic breast cancer journey. And I'm so thankful to the universe and to Facebook because Allison's mom met me via Facebook somehow, some way. You know, sometimes we don't really even know. I do think I know it was all about nutrition, but she just said, I have a daughter who has basically same diagnosis you had 20 years ago, and I'd love to put you guys together. And oh my God, I just got goosebumps. We talked on the phone and immediately I knew she was going to be a soulmate of mine forever. And that's true. So I'd love to introduce Alison Rash. She lives in Lincoln, Nebraska with her husband, Brian, and their 2 kids. I'll let Alison talk about their kids. Oh my gosh, your son's hair. I'm so jealous. It's so cute. And just tell us a little bit about yourself and then we'll start talking about your journey.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Lori. Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you what a blessing it's been to have just had that first phone call with you. And you were so generous with your time and just chatted with me. And then since then, we've gotten to connect different times. And I just can't wait for the day when I get to be with you in person and give you a hug in person. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yes, but so I'm an artist. We have 2 kids. Flynn is 10 and Zuzu is 8. I grew up in Nebraska, went to college in California, met Brian, and we lived in Los Angeles for 17 years. So that's where I did my first treatment, actually. So I was 34, Zuzu was 18 months, and I was home nursing her in Nebraska, and I felt a lump under my arm. So when we went back to California, I immediately went to my OB doctor and did the tests and found that we initially thought it was stage 2B, triple positive breast cancer. So we had that in common, both you and I with the triple positive. And that just kind of started this whirlwind of activity as we prepared for treatment.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, nothing can prepare you for that stage 4 diagnosis. I mean, it is such a wonderful thing, and we'll go into it deeper later, but we are both so blessed to have such wonderful husbands to walk this path with us. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, I think one of the biggest things that Brian does for me is reminds me to take things one step at a time and not to get too far ahead. So that when we had that first diagnosis, my mind was racing to months and years ahead. And he would always bring me back to what's happening today. What can we do today? And that's just been really just a game changer for how we're able to walk through this as well.
I love it. And I know that we were both 34. I was 34 when I started chasing it. I wasn't properly diagnosed until I was 36, but we were both in that same young age range. We were raising 3 boys ourselves. You have 2 young children. For some reason, it seems like you guys are doing a super great job communicating everything that you're going through, not just with mom and her journey, but as a family. Talk about that, because that's very inspirational.
I mean, we do our best. I think we trial and error, and we definitely do it imperfectly, but Flynn was 3.5 and Zuzu was 18 months when I was first diagnosed. And we kind of just took the train of thought that they're going to react however we react. So like the way we present this is really going to inform how they respond to it. So we've tried to use words like chemotherapy and cancer and not medicine and sick, because we wanted to differentiate between when they were sick. And then we just learned as we've gone, because their understanding and comprehension has changed as they've gotten older. Now they're 8 and 10. And so we've really had to change the way we talk about it to make sure it's developmentally appropriate for them. But we also have great support with family and friends. I see a counselor, they've seen counselors at different times. I mean, I think there's just so many tools available to us, and we are really open to using those tools too.
Exactly. Embrace what you have, use all the tools in the toolbox, because bottom line, none of us are invincible.
Right.
And we're all learning as we go through this journey and navigating, what our next step is going to be. And tell us where you're at with regard to your stage 4 journey now.
So you were diagnosed stage 4 from the beginning, and I was initially diagnosed stage 2B, did chemo, surgery, radiation. And at surgery, we found that 7 of 8 lymph nodes were still positive. So they changed it to stage 3A. And then I continued with Herceptin. And 6 months after finishing Herceptin, I found a lump in my neck. And so at that point, we did a biopsy. I mean, you maybe can identify, I was always feeling things and getting things checked out. And most of them turned out to be nothing significant as far as cancer. But this time there was a lump in my neck. And so that would have been, around July of 2016 was when we found out that it was now metastatic. So, and at that point we had my initial treatment was at City of Hope in Los Angeles, a great cancer center. We'd moved back to Nebraska and gotten treatment at UNMC, which is also a fantastic center. And I knew if I ever relapsed, I wanted to go see Dr. Salem. And so at that point, we got an opinion from him, and both the cancer center and Dr. Salem kind of confirmed that they'd often seen people my age, women my age, die in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And so Dr. Salem said, I think I can give you longer. There was no guarantees, and there's potential, very small potential, but potential that you could possibly even be cured. And so I just remember looking at Brian thinking, 2 to 3 years is not very long. Why don't we at least try for longer? And so this August would have been 5 years since that initial stage 4 cancer diagnosis. And I just feel like every day, all this time is such a gift. And I'm just so grateful to be here right now too.
Oh, I hope we're having these conversations in about 25, 35 years from now. Yeah. And we'll all have like tons of great grandkids and all kinds of stuff going on, and still be blazing that trail, because you know what? If we don't have hope, we have absolutely nothing. And Dr. Salem gave you hope.
Yes. And I hope through this podcast that you and I are able to offer hope for others. There are so many things about our stories that are similar, and there's so many things that are different, and yet we're both still here today. And so I hope that we can just offer hope to other women, not that they have to follow the path that either of us followed, but that they feel empowered to follow the path that's put before them, and that they can be around as long as possible.
Absolutely. And that's why we give so much thanks to Beverly Vogt for coming up with this idea, part of her breast cancer wellness magazine. It's awesome. I've been part of it for several years now. The center is usually more for stage 4, and now we're going to be incorporating the 4 core and all these things right here. And so we hope that you'll join us each and every episode. It's probably going to be bi-monthly, but we welcome your thoughts. If you have a certain topic you want us to cover, please contact us. We will be providing our contact information along the way, and we'll be talking about each of our journeys more and how we feel like they've contributed to our success so far. And any closing remarks, Allison?
I just really hope that you'll join us as we unpack these 4 core principles that I think so much, once you've had a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, so much feels out of your control. So our hope is just to give tools that do feel like they're in your control, things that you can do to help. And I think it's important to remember when you hear those words, stage 4 cancer, and many doctors would say uncurable. I think it's really important to remember that just because something is uncurable today, Dr. Salem reminds me of this, we don't know what's coming tomorrow. So it doesn't mean that we just try to stay healthy and stay around as long as possible for the next developments in treatment as well. So we only can do what we have today, and that hope for better treatments, hope for continued success with treatments like you have had and like I have had. And so I hope you'll join us on this.
Wake up every day and know that there's stuff to be positive about, and just blaze your trail and know that others will follow. And I'm very, very excited to blaze this trail with you, Alison. So thank you. And please join us next time.
Thank you.
You can listen and subscribe wherever you like to hear your podcasts. And you can find us on Instagram at More for Stage 4. That is MOREFORSTAGE and the number 4. Join our private Facebook group at More for Stage 4 on Facebook, and find us online at breastcancerwellness.org and the More for Stage 4 link. We look forward to connecting with you.